How's it going, gentlemen? Matt Mask is overflowing with confidence ahead of his upcoming match with Nugo. Vitaly implies that he will pin Michael Todd outside of straps, and the Bicep Bash arm wrestling event receives a ton of backlash online after featuring a WWE-style main event. We'll get to everything in today's video. Alright guys, as usual, today's video will be split up into chapters, so if you want to skip to a specific part of the video, go ahead to the description and they will be listed down below. Now, before we get into anything, I do want to take a moment to address the longtime viewers of this channel. I did recently reach 500 subscribers thanks to you guys, and that means that I was able to activate YouTube memberships. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support the content, consider joining the Banana Bread Club for $2.99 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee. I would like to make it very clear that I do not feel entitled to your money, and this option is only for those of you who have disposable income. Also, the weekly recap videos that you have come to know and hopefully enjoy will always be available for free. In the distant future, if a significant number of you guys do become members, I may upload some of my own training footage or tournament footage with some casual commentary for members only. And as a thank you to those of you who do join, I will read the name of every member at the end of every video. I do appreciate every one of you guys who view my videos and comment, so if you do join, thank you very much, and if not, that is fine as well. So with that being said, let's get on with today's video. So recently, Engin Terzi interviewed Nugo and Matt Mask on the same podcast. He's been doing this for a while now, and I would say generally they're fairly boring, kind of nothing burger podcasts, but every now and then these podcasts are entertaining, and I would say this is one of the better ones. Quite a bit was said. Nugo and Matt are both pretty good trash talkers. I would say Matt probably got the better of him, but it is hard to kind of bridge that language barrier, so it's hard to know exactly what Nugo's saying, even if he does have a good translator. But regardless, I think they both made some pretty ambitious statements, and I'll start off with Nugo saying he would beat Devin Larratt at 105. And this was really interesting to me because Nugo also said that Matt Mask might be more dangerous than Devin Larratt at 105 kg. And I'm not really sure how Nugo came to this conclusion. I think if there's any class that Devin can make weight for, he will be the favorite. I think a hypothetical match between Nugo and Devin Larratt would just be a complete blowout in Devin Larratt's favor. Maybe he's just saying this because Devin is well above 300 pounds now, and cutting down to 105 would be a stretch. He'd lose some muscle and some strength as well. But even so, I think this is kind of ridiculous to say. Like I said earlier, I think if Devin can make weight for a class, you have to consider him the favorite, just considering what he's done in the past. And even if I do consider this statement to be kind of ridiculous, it is actually a great compliment to Matt Mask from Nugo. So I do think Nugo is taking Matt Mask seriously, considering he sees him as such a big threat. He did say some other things. He said Matt Mask is just a tall man who screams a lot, to which Matt responded with, "You're just a little man with big dreams." And then Matt went on to say that he would run the 105 kg class, that it doesn't matter who he's put up against, Devin Larratt included, he will run that class for the foreseeable future, which I think is super exciting to hear. Even if I do consider him the underdog against Devin Larratt, just the fact that he has the confidence to say that makes me believe he does feel good, he feels healthy, and he feels stronger than ever. He has said recently that he feels better now than he's felt in probably a decade. This is really good news, and Matt Mask is one of my favorite pullers of all time, so obviously I'm gonna love to hear this, and I can't wait to see this match. Let's move on to Engin Terzi's interview with Vitaly and Monster Michael Todd. So again, this was actually another decent podcast from Engin Terzi, and the thing that really caught my attention throughout the podcast was Vitaly claiming or implying that he will pin Monster Michael Todd outside of straps. Now, weirdly enough, when I made my prediction for this match, I predicted Michael Todd to win, and when I was considering Vitaly lanes and how he would potentially win, I never even considered that he might be able to win this match outside of straps. And that might be surprising to hear, considering that Vitaly's grip strength is one of his strongest attributes, and he is known for finishing matches outside of straps. Recently, I believe he did it to Dave Chafee, and he's done it plenty of other times as well. I think he might have even pinned Hermes in their match outside of straps. I could be wrong about that, but regardless, he has done it multiple times in the past. He is known for amazing grip strength, and when I made my prediction for that match, I just assumed they would get to straps for some reason, and I still hold to my prediction that if they do end up in the straps, there is a very high likelihood that Michael Todd gets the stop. So I think the question for Vitaly is, can he hold on to Michael? Can Michael slip out of his fingers? And to be honest, off the top of my head, I cannot remember the last time that Michael Todd was not able to get the slip if he wanted it. This is actually something Michael Todd said himself recently on YouTube. I can't even remember which video it was, but he said, if I want the slip, I can get the slip. And I think I agree with him there. I don't think that Vitaly is going to be able to contain him outside of the straps 3 times in a row. There is definitely a possibility that Vitaly gets him maybe round 1, possibly round 2 even, but I don't think he's going to do that 3 rounds in a row. And at some point, Michael Todd will get the stop. So really interesting stuff from Vitaly. I'm glad to hear that he's confident, and if he was able to pin Michael Todd outside of straps, that would get me super excited to see him face the winner of Levon versus Hermes. So I'm going to stick with my pick. I'm going to say Michael Todd gets it done, but hey, he might want to consider rubbing some baby oil on his hands before the match, because that could possibly be a very dangerous lane for Vitaly. All right, let's move on to the Bicep Bash main event, Scott Steiner versus Uncle John Thompson. Now, I did not end up buying the pay-per-view for this card. As far as I know, all of the matches on this card were legit, except for the main event, which of course was Scott Steiner versus Uncle John Thompson. But I did end up watching the matches after they were uploaded to the Aussie Arm Wrestlers YouTube channel. And there is currently quite a bit of backlash in the comment section of the main event. I'll post a few of the most popular comments on the screen right now for you guys to look at, because the comments that you're reading right now are the majority of the comments on that video. There's a lot of negativity towards this. When this card was being promoted and when I went to watch it after it had been uploaded to YouTube, I kind of had this preconceived negative outlook on it. I didn't grow up watching the WWE. I generally don't like dramatized matches. I think fake matches are awful for the sport. So I went into it kind of thinking I would hate it. But after watching it and taking some time to think about it, I actually came to a different conclusion. And to be honest, I did not mind it. I actually enjoyed watching it for what it was. You have to remember that this match was obviously fake. We all knew it was fake going into it. It's Scott Steiner. He's a legend of WWE. He's not an arm wrestler, and he was going up against Uncle John, who is a big guy, and he's a very good arm wrestler. So obviously this match was fake. We all knew that going into this, and it was obviously going to be dramatized for entertainment purposes. I just thought it was going to be kind of lame. I mean, how creative can you be with an arm wrestling match? But honestly, it was okay. It was fairly entertaining, and it seemed to be done in good fun. Everyone who went there knew what they were getting into. They knew what they were paying to see. And Jake actually went live after this video was uploaded, and he basically said this event was not for hardcore arm wrestling enthusiasts. This event was for fans of WWE. This was a way of showcasing our sport to a new fan base. And I think they did a good job of doing that. And from what Jake said, it seemed like the in-person live audience really loved it, and they all had a good time. So even though I went into this with pretty negative expectations, and I think probably a lot of you guys did as well, I actually think this was a net benefit to arm wrestling, and I would have no problem with them doing this again in the future. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it, but if you are a fan of professional wrestling and you want to see a dramatized production, then this is the thing for you. And like I said earlier, I do believe the other matches on the card were legit matches. So if you're afraid that this is going to make arm wrestling look like a joke to the public, I don't think that's the case. I think most of the people who saw this knew the main event was fake. It was for entertainment purposes only. So anyways, let me know what you guys thought of that match. Did you go into that match with negative expectations? And if so, did you end up enjoying it or hating it? Let's move on to the last story for today. So Sarah Backman has unfortunately torn her left shoulder after her match with Jocelyn Brisson. In her Instagram post, she said that she tore it while holding onto the peg, I believe in round 2. So this is really unfortunate news. In her Instagram post, she said that she could potentially be out for a year. So if you want to read the whole post, I would recommend either going to Sarah Backman's Instagram or go to Arm Wrestling News' channel, go to his posts. That's where I ended up seeing it because I do not have Instagram. So anyways, bad news for Sarah. It's sad to hear, but I'm sure she'll be back, and maybe she'll even move to weight class pulling. I think if she did pull in a category, she could be incredibly dominant. All right, gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. Take it easy. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.